Oh yeah, we have
Yeah.
to. We have to go. We have to.
That's what I mean.
Should
You need to get the link sent to Caster because nobody's going to be watching yet.
okay, it's live now.
Okay, put it in. Get Caster to send it with an everyone ping or something in announcements,
Okay.
and quickly.
So wait, what are we live streaming on? Do we have like a YouTube channel or is
Yeah,
it something on
it's
Twitch?
on the
Or-
Romula One
Ooh.
YouTube channel.
All right.
So yeah, we are live.
Wait.
I
Yep,
voted.
there you are. Found you.
Chris sets a faster sector 2 as we see all the cars on track. ASM with the faster sector 1. This is all their outlaps today, or here now in qualifying, as we will ride on board with Chris for a lap as he starts on the start finish straight, reaching I don't know the speed, but somewhere around 350 miles an hour as the top speed of the car as he goes into turn 1. Nice decent line as he makes his way to extend most of the track as much as he can. He gets very close to the sausage curbs there, making sure not to touch them or else that would be a run killer for him. Then he gets very out, he takes a more outside line to get the most maximum speed. He sets a sector 1 of 27.25, which is the fastest we've seen, as it's the first one. As he approaches the second sector first corner, he makes the turn very nicely, but he extends and he touches the sausage curd. That is a run killer. W Soup sets a 20.6. That is the fastest sector 1, beating Chris by an entire attempt as he goes through the second sector, keeping the most speed. Fernand sets a 24.783 for the fastest sector 2, and he is the most likely to grab provisional pole here at the start of these few laps. As let's go to him as he crosses the line, but Professor Bloxer sets a 101.633, beating Fernandes, who I thought was going to be on pole. But yeah, the top 5 are within 8/10 of each other as they've set their first laps, but this should be closer as they begin to set more laps. I think they're doing multiple runs, so if it ain't, yeah.
Yeah, the times will tick down as the session goes on, as everybody starts to adjust to their cars and they get their driving lines sorted out. I'm looking forward to the end of the session when everybody comes really, really close together. I can only imagine just how small the pole gap will be.
Yeah, currently we're riding on board with Ollie Ray here, which is just set to 22.012. His personal best sector 1 so far this session, with his last lap being 106.787. Currently down in P8, it's a wonder where he could qualify towards the end of his session.
I'll be keeping all my eyes on him. I recognize him from another league I used to race in. Racer Manager League. He didn't have very many races, but I did root for him during his junior career. Good to see him back, well, at least for my eyes.
Already this is a step up for Ollie Ray. Qualifying 20th in practice, he got 20th with a 106.691, so already improving from his original times. This is already a step up from him, and it could mean good things to come further down the line this weekend. Okay, continuously following him now, with his last lap being an improvement from his original lap. It doesn't look like this lap will be as good, with only a 20.708 set first, with only a 0.545 set as his first sector, followed up by a 27.750. Doesn't look like he'll be improving this lap. Following Critical Noob now, with his last lap being a 1.387, pushed down to 12th for now by Green Ninja Warrior. G-Force or Spinion will talk us through the rest of this lap.
Oh, never mind, he goes into the pits, but can we see anyone else on a hot lap right now? Not as the moment. Well, Critical Mood was on an hot lap, but he managed to mistake. As we see Green Ninja Warrior setting a personal best in the Mercedes. He goes down the DRS straight of, or not DRS straight no more, I was removed for buggy reasons. Now going into the second sector, long section there as he tries to make the most. He doesn't, Well, he's improved on his first sector, but can he improve on his second sector? We'll have to see after he crosses the second sector line, but it's looking likely as he's coming incredibly close to the sausage curbs, as he sets a 24.958 for a sector 2, his personal best as well, as he goes around the final corner trying to maximize his exit. He does go a bit wide, but I think it won't be too bad, as he'll improve from P13 to P7. Fernand sets a fastest 2 sector with a 24.7 as he's going around the last few corners as well, trying to get maximum exit. He goes very close to the sausage curve. That will be very good in terms of time as he goes from P2. Can he beat Professor Blox's time? Yes, he can by an entire 600ths.
Impressive showing from Fernand here. He's really pumping in the times. I think he's going to be a big threat for pole position come later in the session, or for the first four spots on the grid.
Yeah, especially for Professor, starting practice in P11. This is once again a step up for him, just like his teammate. But in terms of his teammate, he's already back down towards where he got in practice. Just some information for everyone. Dom Higi 2's just set the fastest sector 1 with a 20.529. And also, due to technical issues, the back stretch of the DRS section has been disabled due to issues in practice. Great we've caught them in practice rather than in the qualifying session. Currently following Dom, which managed to get P1 in the practice session. So let's see if he can topple Fernand's time. With Dom already in P3, he's got his sector 1 as purple with a 20.529. Over half a second quicker, than anybody else. We're going to come on with this critical noob 321 setting the quickest sector 2. We're going to go on board with another commentator for the rest of this lap.
Yep, as Critical Noob goes on the final straight after saying a faster sector 2, can he get pole? And he does a 101.308. That is the current pole time, as his faster sector 3 really helped him there. Get 160 thousandths over Dom, because no one seems to be improving currently, because no one's like setting any decent enough first sectors, and I think other people are in the pits recharging their tires to go out for a second or third lap. But as we see, the top 6 are separated by 7/10, and the rest of the field spread is getting slightly more larger than that as you go down the list.
So might be a one to watch here. He's currently in P11. He's set a green first sector, 20.633. We await to see where his second sector is. Another green, 24.866. First boy, he's currently P11. Let's see where this lap brings him up to.
Yep, he doesn't get as close as he wants to the sausage curbs as he goes onto the final straight. Can he manage? He gets P3. He is 2.5 tenths behind Critical, the pole time. What a great answer after his first lap, which wasn't amazing.
Very impressive lap considering where he was just a minute ago. A 101.545. Very good lap. Very good.
Yep, as the third is improved slightly, but not managing to get higher than P14. Falcon isn't here for qualifying, as there might be some issues, but yeah, so the reserve driver, the third, will be taking his place.
Yeah, really sorry to interrupt. Video Super has just come across the line to go 13th, setting a 102.9. That's his first lap time of the session. Not been able to get a lap in for whatever reason, but I'm glad he's now popped one in.
And Outguard sets 2 green sectors, a 20.666 and a 24.912. Can he manage to answer, as he was one of the predicted pole contenders for Helsinki, as he managed to get P5. Not really what he would have wanted, but it's the best he could get, as Super jumps to a P7 position with an improved time of 101.925.
Both McLarens there jumping into the pits to get on a new set of softs to hopefully get them better times.
Yep, and people are improving on the board as we have 5 minutes left in the session. There is still a chance for anyone else to get pole, as many of the drivers still haven't pushed, and actually, as we speak now, Domji has set a very fast first sector at 20.5. I think that's the second fastest sector one we've seen today. As he goes down the back straight, trying to get as much speed as he can. As he, in his sector 2, what can he get? A 24.7. He's improving. He's a green sector on. He has to perfect this last sector 3 if he wants to get the pole position time, as he is 1.6 tenths behind. So he's not as close to the sausage curves as you would have liked, losing him some time. As he's on the main straight now, can he improve? Can he beat critical? And he can, and he beats him by 13 hundredths, I think, if I'm not mistaken. As he becomes the now pole sitter for everyone else to beat.
Wow, 101.295. That is a lap. Wow. I'm actually amazed. I thought 101.3 was the fastest, but nope. You can go faster than that. 101.2. Amazing.
With Dom now getting closer to his original times in practice, which was a 101.150, a truly amazing lap. But he's getting close to it now, over and over, with only the opportunity to do just around 3 laps left. It's really anybody's game out of these top 3 who could come out first, with this top 3 being separated by almost 0.2 seconds.
Yep, and
Falcon's the one. Falcon might be... I'm sorry to interrupt you guys, but Falcon might be the one to watch here. He set 2 green sectors, 20.6 and 25.6. Ah, never mind. He's coming to the pit. Reported.
Okay, Fernand sets a faster sector to 24.5 as we try to ride on board with him. There we go. As he's not as close to the curbs again, the sausage curbs, as much as you like, losing a bit of time there, but he's on the straight again. Can he improve to beat Chris, or Dom? And he goes pole with a 101.133. Amazing. We have potential, like, 5-6 pole contenders here. It just matters to the final lap to see if they can deliver and get the pole position from Fernand as he stands on provisional pole.
The other Ferrari now, just coming out of a garage after possibly crashing, which won't be too good for his times. Along with that, it's really great to see his teammate getting into provisional pole, with Ferrari being one of the predicted people to be quite high up in this session.
I was just watching Falcon. He was going the wrong way down the track for a little bit. I think that was just to set him up for a lap. He's away now. And come through the first corner, taking a very wide line. He hits his apex. Coming through turns 2 and 3, goes a little bit too wide there. That might invalidate his lap. We'll see as the first sector comes in. The 21.1, not his best sector 1 compared to what we've seen. His best sector was a 20.6, so that's instantly half a second off what we've seen from Falcon.
Yep, as he nears the end of his lap. Oh, sorry.
Comes through the long left-hander. Oh, he's aborted his lap. He's slowed right down. He's aborted.
Yep. As there's
So
only
the battery.
As there's only 1 minute 30 seconds in the session left, he needs to slow down. He needs to make this lap count, because this is probably going to be the last ditch attempt for anyone to get pole here today.
As long as you cross the line before a minute 1 seconds passes, you can complete 2.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, this is also quite off form from practice for Falcon. Getting 9th in practice with a 101.437, it appears he's just pushing way too hard and not managing to set the times he was in practice. With it now only available to set 1 more lap, it's really coming down to the wire here in terms of times.
20.704 coming from Dom. He comes round the right-hander. The left-hander, sorry, I'm watching him backwards. He nearly hits the sausage curbs. Through the left-hander he goes, hits his apex perfectly, braking zone, absolutely.
Oh, he messes up as he goes onto the curb.
That's his session over.
W Soup
He won't be
improving.
setting 4 lap times, and that's him done
he's
for
beached.
qualifying.
Yeah. As
Yep,
W
he's
Soup
beached.
WSoup with a 20.529 for a Sector 1. Can he be the one to snatch pole away, as that is one of the fastest Sector 1's times of qualifying today, as he's nearing Sector 2. Can he set a green Sector 2? Yes, he can. It's a 24.7. This is a potential pole time, as he gets very close to the Sausage Cups there. Oh, but he gets a bit of air time there, and that ruins his lap.
Sorry to interrupt you, but no more laps can now be started, with one person already going over the line. So it's one of the Alpines, I'm not sure which one, but they've clearly not improved, staying down in that bottom 3 places to start this race.
Yep, and a really disappointing session for Falcon, as he only manages to get P17 with a 111.3 because he didn't have enough time to set a proper lap.
If only he perfected his Sector 2 on that very first lap, I think he would have started in the top 7, potentially top 5. That 20.6, that was a pretty quick Sector 1. I think that was only like 2 tenths off the best.
Yeah. As ASM setting up his last lap now, this has been 2 personal best sectors for him as he moves from P13 into around the top 10. Yep, as he goes P8 with a 101.9. Very, very opposite finishing positions in the Williams car, as one finishes P2 and finishes P8. But this can be changed in the race.
On the subject of Williams, we saw some interesting quali strategies there, with ASM SOC coming in almost every lap to change tyres onto softs.
And an even bigger difference with the Alpines, with Chris finishing in P4 with a great effort from him. And Falcon is just very unfortunate, but we'll have to see how this plays out in the race, which is happening very shortly.
Okay. The G-Force is now going to talk us through the results and who qualified in which positions.
Okay, so in P1 we have 101 with a 101. Fernan with the pole time of the session today in Helsinki. He will be first on the starting grid for the first race of Romula Season 3. Dom slightly behind with 1.5 tenths, managing to finish P2, which is a very strong result for the Williams. Red Bulls have a very nice P3 and P5 as they have a 101.3 with crit and 101.5 with Outguard, and Chris and the Alpine in the middle between those two with a 101.5 as well. Pole for Fernand, congrats. As we have Professor with a 101.6, as we haven't seen McLaren very much in this weekend, but he's manages to grab the P6, which I think is a saving grace for their rivalry between Williams and McLaren, as they've had a really bad start to the season, but maybe this is a show of the change of pace as they've spoken about. WSoup P7, ASM P8, Rat P9, Super P10. Those round off the top 10, all within 3 tenths of each other. Nowhere, Yveltal was, what's it called, very, very promising, as in my predictions, I thought he was going to be in the top 3, but he's had a shocker of a session today, finishing P12, as I don't know, something must have went wrong in the Alpha Tower, but it's only a 102. As Green Ninja Warrior P13 in the other Mercedes video, P14. The third, the Alpine reserve driver, although he probably won't be running the car, I'm not sure about that. Olare in P16 with a 106.4, and Falcon rounding off with a 111.3. So as we prepare for the race, yeah, I don't really know what else. Everyone's just preparing for the race, just getting their strategies ready. And yeah.
See a little party going on down at the Alpine garage. There's a couple of dancers, Dakar being one of them. In fact, no, he's the only one.
Yep. Alpine supporter.
Zooming down the pit lane. Typical pit lane shenanigans. Pre-race pit lane shenanigans. I always love to see, you know, people mucking about in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Makes me laugh.
Skin Snake harasses the dev. If you want to commentate on the stream, join and raise your hand, as we have some guest speakers, maybe guest commentators.
Anybody who wants to, who's part of the team in any capacity, put your hand up and we'll slowly invite you guys up. Okay, so now we've got an engineer here from AlphaTauri coming up. If he does Has he seriously just left?
Hopefully we can get to the pit wall. In fact, no, hopefully he's at the pit wall, ready to talk to us.
I'm not sure he does want to anymore. Does anybody actually want to? I guess not, but there is... do we let the normal members speak? That is the question.
Good question. Are there any fans here that might want to chat?
Yeah, we do have one fan.
There's actually
we've got
none
the engineer back. The engineers came back. Do you want to talk, engineer, or else we'll go over to the fan? Do you want... We've sent you an invite to come up onto the stage if you want to. Okay, we'll invite both of you up. If either of you want to come up, come up. Yeah, you can also talk to Deanna's Mish about how your qualifying went and how you plan to do on the race.
Oh, pit stops happening right now. As we see the Alpines, I think they're going to start on the mediums today as they've all selected their strategies pre-race. I think Red Bull will be on the hards with... Let's just fact check that. Yes, they are both on the hards as they will start the race. But I've heard some chatter from the teams that the hards are actually very bad because they're very loose in the rear. But Red Bull must know something probably if they're both running the hards, as Critical Noob is a 3x Romula race winner for a reason and a 4-time podium sitter.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we've got a fan here who'd quite like to talk about what he thought about of qualifying and how the race is going to go. So Fevros, how do you feel that this race is going to go, and what did you like about qualifying, and which team are you going to be supporting?
Yes, qualifying was it was really fun and competitive, but I'm always going to be rooting for my boy Fernan, the best Ferrari driver in Romula One. Come on, my boy.
Okay, we've also got engineer from, I forgot which team. I'm just going to check now if you can quickly send me it. Alpha. We've got an AlphaTauri engineer who's just sent us in a word memo. So the AlphaTauri engineer is saying that it's not the quality they hope for, but they hope they can improve. And they'll be joining, and this engineer in particular, Mini, will be joining Alpine after the race and will talk to us next week. But they're really hoping to push for a top 5 today.
Yep, as Chris in the top 5, I am expecting him as a Alpine team boss as well. May have a little bias, but I believe he will be in as a very strong podium contender, as well as the 2 Red Bulls, Dom, Vernon. Actually, most people on the grid have a potential to bag a podium today.
Okay.
My money will be... Oh, sorry, really sorry to interrupt you guys. My money will be on Falcon to score top 5. From what I saw in qualifying, he appeared to be Hold on, let me think here.
Just quickly in this time gap, we're going to invite one more person, 1 or 2 more people up just to talk about who they think will win. Just say who you think will win, and then we'll put you back down. So 1 at a time for people I've just invited.
Yeah.
If you guys,
Hi. Hello.
So who do you think will win? Who are you rooting for this Grand Prix?
I think I'm rooting for, the best team. We all know who that is.
And who is the best team?
Well, just name one and
Ferrari?
just name a team.
Wait,
I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm new to this.
What do you... Just say a team!
New to this.
I've just put him back down because they're almost done lining up. Some more news from AlphaTauri is that they don't want to use the hards as they think that they're bad, which is quite a juxtaposition from their senior team. Apparently you don't let folks speak. Also, softs are looking good apparently, but they're running wrong at turn 3 and they hope to improve their stats and times.
Yep, as we have everyone lining up with the grid now, we're just waiting for the last 3 people to line up. But this is a very beautiful sight to see as Romula finally restarts with the first race of the season for Season 3. Dom P2, Critical P3, Chris Boy P4, we have P1 missing, Fernand's still getting in the grid. Algod P5, Professor Blocks at P6, WC P7, ASM P8, no one P9, Super Joe P10, Noah 11, Evelt at 12, Green Ninja Warrior 13, bunch of, I don't know what what's happening here. Olere, P whatever, and Vulcan lining up the back of the grid. Who is going to be the first race winner of Romula One? Who is going to bag the first points in Romula One, and who's going to be on the podium for the first race at Helsinki?
Well, like you said earlier, it's anybody's game. All it takes is one little mistake, and you could be up like 3 or 4 positions. But I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen today. Who knows? We might have a first-time winner today.
Yep, as there's 9 debutants on the grid, I believe. So there is a very strong chance of a new winner in Romula One.
Also, for those just joining us, this is the Helsinki Autodrome with exactly, if I can, where's it gone? I'm really sorry.
Take your time, take your time.
Okay, here we go with 21 turns, and this is the season opener this season. I don't know if there's going to be a formation lap for people in the stream, but we have been confirmed that there will be the 2 compound rule in play, and that the DRS zone on the back straight has been removed due to technical difficulties during qualifying. If anybody likes, they can take us on a grid walk now.
I don't think anyone would like, to be honest. But I think, what's it called? There will be... Okay, so the grid walk is that... I'm not going to lie, I don't really know what a grid walk is, but I'll give my own impression of it, as we have the grid... all of the engineers and team owners and team bosses, they're lining up on the pits wall. I don't know if we can manage to get any interviews on them, but that would be nice if we can, but I'm not sure that's the thing. We have Burnt Out Bob here managing AlphaTauri, as he is the team boss, I think, and we have all of the other team owners right there, with Crispy Player One, Iber, and yeah, Red Bull here, with 3 of them actually with the But yeah.
All drivers with DRS have just been called to go through the detection zone to make sure that it is disabled.
And we have
That's
a formation lap, I think, now. Yep, we have the formation lap. As drivers are going around, I'm not sure why no one else is moving.
No, they're not. They're not really. They're just going up to the first detection zone. They'll come back.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
for DRS.
Yeah, for DRS.
You know, half of them's open because of qualifying. Because the DRS.
Yep, they need to close the DRS because you can't have that on the first lap.
Yeah, the big red block was just a little bit after the pit lane, way before the detection point, so the drivers could never close the DRS. They were still in the zone.
Just some information for the person streaming. You can ride on board somehow with some of the engineers in the pit wall, so then you can look at people's data through that.
What?
Yeah, because they're sitting down. If you go to onboard
yeah.
and click through people.
Yeah, you can see their lap times and well, this one has glasses on, so yep, here's the data here, as we can see, with critical, with 1% of their tire wear. It's quite interesting.
Out and in with all drivers should be going in hopefully a few minutes time.
Someone's car. No, someone's not in their car apparently. No, never mind. I think that's fixed. As race start procedure is about to start very soon, so we here have the entire grid. We'll be spectating P1, see if they lose or gain positions. We have 43 laps of Helsinki. Let's see who's going to be the first race winner of Romula One.
Just
Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Just some information for some of the stewards. It appears that about half the cars on the grid have their DRS open.
Oh, yep. Some of them do, some of them don't. That's a bit weird.
I don't think it was fixed.
Okay, it's open, but it only added speed difference from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
And even so, it's a very minor change. I don't think it will affect the rain. Oh, Dom is sleeping right now. Bit tired because he's waiting on the grid for quite a while.
Just hopped in and out of his car.
Yep, we have to get this show up and running very soon because most drivers probably have to go after this race.
Yeah, I've got hopefully this. Yeah, I've got other commitments after this one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, hopefully we'll get this up very soon.
So we've got to wait. So, oh, we have 30 seconds now
we go.
until the
Countdown.
grid starts. Let's get a nice view of the grid.
All
here.
team staff now have to vacate the grid in preparations for the start.
Well, the one thing I must point out, though, is that Ollie Ray and Falcon have both moved up a place
Yeah.
because Deferd is not present.
Yeah, because he is the reserve driver for Alpine and Falcon is replacing him for the race.
That explains it then. That explains the 17 lap times and 16 cars.
Okay, everyone should be ready. A ready check has been started. And I think we're going to get very soon across
Here we
the
go.
line.
Here come the lights.
As we have 4 lights, 5 red lights, and
Oh,
and they're
the
out.
jump start from Dom.
Oh,
Forwards a
a
little
jump start from Don potentially. As we see the drivers all go up on the grid, we ride on board with Chris as he tries. He is the underdog for the session, as out with Alpine as well. As they go into the first corner, everyone's very closely together. You cannot tell who is in front, all the vision lag there, but we'll have to see until the first sector shows.
From my camera, it appears that Critical Noob is only ever so slightly ahead of Fernan as we're coming down the back straight here as we come for the right-hander into the slow technical section of the circuit. It's a big braking zone as we come into the 2 right-handers. Fernan just barely holds on from
Yep.
Critical Noob behind, and there's another Red Bull that's outguard. Dom's dropped to 4th, and that's one of the Alpines down in 5th. McLaren stage 6, the other Williams 7th.
Oh, and Tom has a massive
And there we
flip
go.
as he makes a huge mistake, causing him to go to the back of the grid with such close of a grid. I don't think he's going to make up. Him and Olare are at rearing the back of the grid, as well as Rat in the Alpha Tauri. That is a huge mistake for Dom.
That was not the start which the AlphaTauri engineer was hoping for.
And Critical is first on the first lap as we go into the second lap. Critical with a 2/10 lead, but that is going to be definitely shortened down as there are 5 contenders for P1 in a second gap, actually, as the drivers on the mediums. Everyone's on the mediums except for the Alfa Romeo W Soup, who is running the hards. So yeah, very close field spread between top 5.
Watch out for Chris Boy. He's coming right down the inside. Goes around the outside line. He almost takes the race lead from Fernand, but he just barely holds on and now has a little bit of a gap to the Alpine and the Red Bull behind. And it looks like Chris has dropped down to 4th. Not sure what's happened to him in the second lap. But
And Falcon's made it up to
hopefully
P5 with an amazing start from P16.
And that's a Williams flipped.
Oh, another Williams flip.
Yep.
Oh, Williams
Which one
having.
was it?
I think it was ASM. Oh, as he's lost his front wing. He's had to have a pit stop now because he's lost his front wing. As so unfortunate for the driver, as well as him being on Williams, as huge and costly for him as he drops down for T16. But Falcon from P16 to P5. I don't know how that's been managed, but it has. As there are 2 Red Bulls in the top 5 and 2 Alpines in the top 5 and 2 Ferraris in the top 7 as ASM makes his first pit stop of the race.
On to mediums, fair.
Yeah.
What did I say when I told you that all it takes is for one car to go wide for you to make up 2 or 3 places? The field is that close. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking when I say that.
And it looks like Chris and Fernan are the top 2 currently trying to fight for the win as Outguard and Critical are quite behind, as well as Falcon just behind them, the 2 Red Bulls as well. Let's ride on board with Chris if I can find it. There we go. As he is just 3/10 behind Fernan, the DRS is really going to help him around on this track. But it might not be enough, as 3/10 is a huge gap. As Outguard is 7/10 behind Chris as well, with Critical also a second behind Outguard. And that just dropping down as we go down. Olare and ASM have very bad, thing. And I think
On my screen, Chris and Fernand are going wheel to wheel as we once again come through the technical section. Chris Boy is ahead just for now, but Fernand is keeping right with him. Fernand's just ever so slightly behind him, using the slipstream to his advantage. Let's see what will happen as we go for the left-hander. First boy's got a bit more of an advantage now, but he's not let.
Oh, as he
He's
makes a
not
huge
managed.
mistake, as he makes
He's
a flip.
off, and he's done a
Oh
big
no,
flip,
it's beached.
and he's beached.
Oh
He's
no.
beached. That's his race over.
That's huge.
Fernand retakes the
Oh,
lead.
Chris is
as
out
Chris
one.
Bourne
Unfortunate.
gets stuck on one of the sausage curbs. That is horrific for the Alpine driver.
His
And-
teammate does capitalise off of that incident, though, with Falcon going up into 4th place.
And there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I don't even know if safety cars are a thing, but there will be slowing
No.
down in the there is no safety cars, but slowing down in the sector 3, no overtaking allowed. But very unfortunate for Chris, as he was a definite contender for the win. But his teammate Falcon, he's capitalized on that, moving up to P4 from his original P5 position, and it looks like the top two are a quite nice distance away from the rest of the grid.
First car's about to be lapped. ASM is just ahead of Fernand. We're only on lap 5 here. I don't think that was important, but I thought I'd just point it out because I am watching Fernand at the moment. He's got quite a gap to second place, as it seems.
Yep, and he's gonna lap ASM actually, I believe, as ASM is now an entire minute behind. I do think his race is quite over for now.
Watch out
Unfortunately.
for Outguard. I've noticed him getting very close to Fernand. Perhaps that's just my screen, though. As I
Yep.
saw him just gaining and gaining on the DRS straight. He's dropped back a little bit. Seems like the Red Bull's quicker in the straights, but they seem to be just a little bit vulnerable in the corners compared to Fernand.
Yep, as Fernand leads the grid again, the pole sitter, I do think he will maintain this lead for quite a while, as the two Red Bulls, Red Bull have done a very strong showing in the starting few laps, but that might change, as we definitely saw with ASM and Chris. Things can go south even when you don't expect it.
Let's have a look at how the leaderboards changed from the start of the race. Dom, for a key example, qualifying P2 all the way down to P7 currently, which is just crazy, with Pro moving up a place. Falcon, though, who's managed to start P17 and move up to P4, with a lot of movement currently going on around P10. This is really a battle shaping up in the midfield currently, with Falcon there getting the car unsteady.
Yep, and I think Eveltor is also out of the race as well, as I don't seem to see him on the track anywhere. So I do think there are 2 retirements so far in this race, which is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, Vestal is out of the race. I've just tried to spectate him, got no results.
Oh, and there's also a huge mistake from Fernand as he gets on the sausage curb, and he makes a huge mistake, which costs him the lead and potentially a podium as well. But we'll have to see. As he is
I'm
down.
not actually sure what kind of mistake he made, sorry to interrupt. I was trying to find him on the spectate menu. But yeah, I guess that's one thing. Blinking, that's one thing you can find in Romula One. Blink and you miss it.
Yes, as he is dropped from P1 to A. I don't know if the leaderboards have updated or not, but it still says he's P1, but I don't think that's the case, as we haven't... Oh, what's wrong with it? But, yep, as we see, I think he's behind Professor, so he is definitely in P6 for the moment. Outguard, I think, leads the race behind, well, Critical Nude behind. Oh, the time is Video Super with a
Here we
116.
go. There we go.
And there's a bunch of fastest laps with the leaderboard being re-updated to fix the mistakes that's been happening, I think.
Yep, it's been reset.
Yep, as
I
Critical
was
Nude...
wondering when a reset was going to happen.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt. I was wondering when the reset was going to happen because all I could see was the qualifying times, and I couldn't really pick out I couldn't really make out who had the fastest lap. Times are going to start coming in, and we'll soon find out who's the quickest on the track.
Yep, currently for now it's Video Super with, I think, a 105 or something, I don't really remember. But Outguard with now a 103.33. ASM a lap down behind. Falcon in the podium from last. That is absolutely amazing progress from the Alpine driver. Dom in P4. the rivalry between Williams and McLaren is showing right now, with Dom in P4 and Professor in C6 with ASM P12, and there is not a second McLaren driver, with Algard saying a faster Sector 1 with a 21.3, as some drivers are yet to cross the line to update their positions.
I will say, if Falcon somehow manages to win this race from the back of the grid, that would just be insane. Like, I don't really know anybody who's won from dead last. The last time I saw that was, well, in Formula One, obviously, with Sergio, who wasn't exactly last, but you could technically say he was.
Yep.
Lewis Hamilton doesn't really count here because he had 1 and a third race distances to get to the front. Well, Sergio just had the one race distance.
Yep. And this would be a first in Romula One history as well. Even just last row podium is insane for the Alpine driver, which I'm sure no one was expecting. As like in free practice, he didn't manage to break the top 5, I don't believe, but except in preseason testing. As we have Outguard in P1, 2.7 seconds ahead of his teammate. Red Bull are looking very strong for a 1-2, but as it's only a fourth of the way into the race, I'm not sure if that will manage to stick, or if Falcon maybe can take an advantage of a mistake off the 2, or even Dom, who's only 4/10 behind from Falcon after making that mistake from the start.
Commentator, no, DRS is disabled. DRS is now disabled. Race director says DRS disabled because there's currently a few little glitches with it. I don't know if it's closing at the end of the straight or not. From what I've seen in qualifying, I'm gonna assume that's the case.
Yep, as now Dom has overtaken Falcon to reclaim his P3. Noah a second behind, so I don't think Falcon will lose 2 positions there, and I think it's going to be a P4 for him now on the 11th lap.
Noah somehow managed to make his way up into 5th place. He's ahead of Fernand. Fernand's really dropped off after that mistake he made earlier in the race. He's even behind Professor, who's just been hovering around 6th place the entire race.
Yeah, and I need to add something real quick.
It looks like Professor's just managed to overtake Noah for 5th.
Critical Noob with the fastest Sector 2.
Yep, Critical Noob and Outguard. I think they're trying to maintain position here at Red Bull, as Outguard has a decent gap, and yeah, I don't think they're really trying to change that, as it's a great start. As Critical, actually, maybe there'll be some inter-team fighting, as Critical has gained a second to Outguard with setting the fast lap of the race as well with a 103. So, can he overtake his teammate? Will there be a scrap? And will someone make a mistake between the two, causing Dom and Falcon to jump at the chance for a potential win even? Like, anyone inside the top 5 could win, or even top 6 or 7.
I think my money's gonna shift to Professor Block, so he's actually looking fairly quick in these last few laps. His last lap was a 103.6. It was not quite as fast as the ultimate fastest lap, which was a 103.0, and that was set by Critical Noob on his last lap. Outguard 103.8. That's just one of the fastest guys on the track at the moment.
Yeah,
he's currently faster than Dom.
Yep, and even faster than Falcon, as he's looking to make an overtake quite soon, which will put Falcon in P5. So my statement, like a lap ago, was completely wrong.
Yeah, I'm watching Professor Block's sectors, 21.5, 25.7. Let's see what his next lap is.
Yep, as Falcon is just 3/10 ahead.
24.2. That is the fifth fastest lap time. No, 6th fastest lap time of the session.
On the subject of people moving up and down through the positions this race, we've got Dom, who was P7 earlier in this race, who managed to qualify in P2, back up to P3 now, which is really good for the Williams outfit.
And also Fernand, who had a big mistake, but he's managed to recuperate and is looking very strong, likely for a podium finish.
We'll just need to wait and see what happens, as we've got 30 laps to go after this one. That'll be just over a quarter race distance completed. Actually, no, that's a lie. No, wait. Hold on. Yes, that is right. That is right.
Yep, as
Had a
Falcon
bit of a
and
brain
Dom
fart there.
and Professor actually have a scrap for P3, I think, with... Wait, no, Fernan, Falcon, and Professor having a scrap for P4, as they are within 4 tenths of each other. Fernan at the back, Professor P5, and Falcon in P4. I think what will happen is that Fernan will manage to get the best out of the two of them, and Professor might or may not, let's call it, overtake Falcon, but it's looking very likely.
And it's Waisu dropping down the order there, who's just been overtaken by both Mercedes for whatever reason.
Yeah, because I think my opinion, as you can see, the rear sliding there, the hards are a terrible choice for Helsinki here, as they just do not fit despite the buff they've had since the previous seasons.
Yeah, another thing with him, there's also been pictures circulating of him just in front of where his wheels should be aligned in the Discord.
As well as we don't have actually any Haas or Aston Martin members showing up, but they completely missed the first race, which will be big points lost for them.
Looks like Fernand he's really making up places. He's currently battling with Falcon for 4th place. Falcon's defending this one quite well here. The visual lag doesn't really help things. Oh, but he goes a bit wide, and that allows Fernand up into 4th.
As unfortunate for Falcon, as he is starting to lose a bit of momentum as he goes down into a P6 so far, I think. Quite unfortunate for the driver, but still very good considering where he started, which is P16, so you cannot fault him here.
I mean, you can't really fault many of the drivers today, with all drivers, bar a few, putting in an exceptional performance. And another thing which is really sad is some of the drivers which were out at the beginning of this race with really bright races ahead of them.
Yeah.
And that's Green Ninja again, with the back sliding out, but managing to keep it onto the track.
Yep, as also a dark horse in this race so far, it's been Noah actually, as there's not really been any coverage about him as he's been outside of the top 6, but he's actually looking to close in on Professor and Falcon as he tries to make his way to nearest teammate Fernan, who is actually in P4 with a great distance now between Falcon and Professor. And ASM hasn't managed to catch up at all since the start of this race. A crucial mistake has been, as he is now getting lapped by probably most of the grid, as he's now getting lapped by Fernan actually, as well as Falcon and Professor very shortly.
And it's Ollie
he's a
out,
yellow
and Ollie's beached with a yellow flag in Sector 2, if we move the camera over to that now.
Yep, he is beached on the curve, second sector. That's really unfortunate, as we now have
That's
moved
truly
up
a photo picture.
moved to 3 retirements. As Dom and Falcon, have they made mistakes? Why are they dropping down the order? As they begin to pit, Falcon pits and he moves onto the mediums. Yes, he does, as well as Dom, I believe, as well. He also goes onto mediums as he's accessing out of the pit lane. We finally have some pit action on the 17th lap on the race, despite ASM's first lap mess.
Back to racing speed now with a green flag.
Super Joper's also had quite an interesting race, as in the Mercedes, I don't think they've been performing as well as they wanted to, but he's still doing respectable, as he's in a provisional P8, I think. So, yeah, very, very interesting to see where he finishes. He could capitalize on the mistakes ahead. As Outguard also pits, the race leader begins to pit. Does Critical respond to that, as they are both fighting for the lead? Yes, they are both pitting. Outguard and Critical are both pitting, which is an interesting thing, as they've both decided to go with the same strategy, probably organized by Red Bull. As Dom immediately showing the effect of the new tires, as I think Critical, he's going on the softs.
Critical onto softs.
That is a weird, and everyone, the sectors are being set ablaze with Falcon and W Soup setting faster sector 2 and 1 respectively. And Domji as well, faster sector 3. Everyone is setting new faster sectors. As, yeah, Dom is 8 sectors ahead of Falcon from P9 to P10, but that should maybe change soon. Who knows? Because Dom is prone to a mistake.
Not sure who that was, but somebody else had just dived into the pits. Pretty sure it was one of the Mercedes there.
Yep, it's...
Wasapi with the fastest lap of the race.
Ooh. That's very interesting.
Setting a 102.704.
Yep, and after everyone pits, I think the order will be maybe slightly askew, as Rat's actually from AlphaTauri trying to fulfill trying to get the most of the points because his teammate is unfortunately out trying to battle the Mercedes by himself.
Professor onto softs now in the pits with No Gamer also pitting.
It looks like a very
and he's
interesting...
also onto the softs.
Yeah, it looks like a very interesting tyre strategy with 3 soft runners and the rest of the runners being medium runners as well. So that'll be very interesting to see which tyre strategy pays off.
And that's Rat also pitting.
Yeah.
Critical now setting the fastest sector 1 with a 20.966.
Yep, as Fernan is currently 13 seconds ahead, but he's still yet to pit. I'm not sure how much time you lose on a pit stop, but it might be around 20 seconds from what I'm guessing. Dom also, he's actually very close behind the Red Bulls as well, as he's managed to recuperate, maybe even stealing the 1-2 from them, splitting them into a 1-3 or even, you know, anything extra. I mean, we are practically halfway through the race now. It's just 2 laps until the actual halfway race. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who actually finishes in that top 5, as Critical sets a 102 dead, making him very, very likely actually with those softs to overtake Outguard very shortly. And Falcon jumping nowhere, as I think he's pitted by 2.3 seconds as he jumps into P6 with Noah P7. I think he's trying to Professor's gone onto the softs to respond to Falcon's pit of the mediums. So we'll have to see which tyre strategy plays out, as I'm pretty sure Falcon will go into the softs at the end and Professor on the mediums at the end.
I've just been speaking to some of the Red Bull engineers, with Coco talking about how they're good in chilling, with another engineer talking about how the pace is looking good and decent, with another one saying that they've been to the strategy L.
Oh.
And Arayante are saying that the hards are great and apparently the stats and the strat is now under control. Nice opposing stuff from and Crit's dead apparently. I don't know what they're talking about, ignore me.
Oh. Yep, Critical goes into P3. He's made a huge mistake there, I think, as he's dropped 5 seconds from Outguard, and he's now sits behind Dom in P3, as Dom, who started P2 in the race, is now again P2 after all of the kerfuffle in these couple of laps.
We've just got word in that Critical flipped.
Critical flipped? Hold on, let me have a look.
Yeah, he had flipped, I think, losing him time.
Looks alright to me.
Yeah, he flipped like I think a minute ago around probably. But yeah, he's taken a very wide line. Yeah, he's taken a very wide line there, which is actually hurting his thing. But yeah, 1.5 seconds behind Dom. He has to really push to get that P2, that 1 and 2 for Red Bull back.
Also, apologize for my prolonged silence there. I was trying to see if I could I could get my alt on this game so my main could pop over to the other league, but it didn't work, so my alt's over there and my main's here.
Yep, as
Nice.
ASM is also starting, I think, to become lapped by Falcon. Really disappointing race from him as P12 as he goes into the pits, actually. So yeah, he's been having a shocker of the race as being lapped up to potentially P10. The whole grid even soon.
At this race, we do have some special guests, such as the Bush, guided by Christ in the paddock, and also Ro Arthur in the stream.
So it looks like the battle for P8 is between, well, Well, the battle for P9 is between the two Mercedes as they try to jostle to see who is the better Mercedes driver potentially, and who, as well as actually W Soup, who's been looking quite strong. He had a purple sector 1 like a couple laps ago, so he is definitely a contender for P9 as well, getting some decent points.
Yeah, he has been setting some pretty decent lap times. His last lap, he's currently he has the 4th fastest lap out of everybody. His last lap was a 103.6. First sector 21.2. Compared to the top 3, 21.3, 21.29, 21.27. He was a 21.24. Sector 2, 25.5.
Yep.
Fernand's setting rapid lap times compared to rapid sectors compared to critical new. In fact, no, apologies. Fernand set quite a lap time on that last lap, 102.4 compared to critical noob's 103.4, a whole second faster on that last lap.
Yep, as we see now with Noah and Falcon, they actually have a scrap with Noah on the better tyre advantage. But Falcon, I don't think this is a huge battle for him, as in the long run, he, I think, will manage to overtake him later with a potential better tyre strategy.
We do have some words then from some more teams. Barron, the engineer for McLaren, is talking about how it's been a decent race, but unlucky for Ollie, which, as we saw, got out in the first lap. But he's got a lot of faith in Bloxer for good points, who's currently up in 5th. And then from Monkey Tito, I'm pretty sure the team boss of Alpha Taui's, been talking about how it's unfortunate that randomizer left the way he did, but he's sure that that will bring in good results and they'll build on this for round 2. And they're looking to minimise damage for ASM and look for P2.
Yep, as I think Williams are gunning potentially for the race win if Outguard makes a mistake, but that is going to be very unlikely as he's shown very good pace this what's it called race. As this is actually, I think he's a debutant, the Moroccan, as yeah, he's been very strong in other leagues, so this has carried on, and I think he will get his first ever win in Romula One here. And Critical and Fernand actually battling for P3 as they're both on the softs. There's only 4 soft runners with Critical, Fernand, Professor, and Noah. So we'll have to see how they'll deal with the tire wear sooner and moving on to the mediums probably or later.
Fernand 2 attempts quicker than the leader on that last lap. It's not quite enough to catch him, but later on in the race he might become a threat.
I think Noah's made a huge mistake as I was speaking. He was in P6, but now he's 6 seconds behind Falcon. I think he's made a flip or a mistake that has cost him incredibly bad time, which will definitely make him lose out to Falcon, as he will pit onto the softs probably, as well as Noah pitting onto the mediums, just destroying his advantage that he had trying to get faster on the softs and getting track position. So this is not ideal for Noah, as he's now potentially being tracked from Rat and from AlphaTauri behind him.
Fernand's really starting to run away from Critical Noob here. He's about 2 seconds clear now.
Yep,
only
as he's made
7.4 behind the race leader. His last lap was a 102.5 compared to the leader's 103.4.
Yep.
That's almost a whole second faster than the race leader.
I think Fernand. Yeah.
He's gonna be on the leader's. He's gonna be on the leader's rear wing in about 5-6 laps time.
Yep, and also Fernand. Yeah, Fernand's just making a brilliant recovery drive from his mistake, as well as Rat has made I think a huge mistake as he's now P11, or he might have just pitted. We'll have to see. Yep, I think he's retired from the race as he's made a critical mistake. Probably, I haven't seen it, but yeah, out of the race now.
And it's Rat, K with the wheels and, front wing. Just saw it live from the pit wall.
Yep, as, ASM has had a terrible race. I just feel very bad for him as he had a very prompt... And there's a yellow flag in Sector 3 that could have been from Rat's crash. But
that's both of the AlphaTauri drivers out of the race there, with their team boss getting up and just walking away at this point. Clearly disappointed in both of his drivers.
yeah. very opposing races for the Williams drivers. And yeah, AlphaTauri have just not had a great session today. ASM actually might have managed to get some points here if someone else DNS, which is good. Good for him. As Noah, has he also made a mistake? Has he's dropped down to P8? Or is he pitting? We'll have to see. Yep, he's pitting to go onto the mediums to run the rest of the race. 16 laps left for him to do. Professor Brox has had a very strong showing today, as he's just been consistently in that P4, P6 range, not managing to drop out. He's just been consistent. So yeah, very good result for, I think, McLaren as well, despite the Olaray crash. So I think actually in the rivalry, McLaren and Williams are very well matched. As I say that, Professor Bloxer goes into the pits. So yeah, we'll have to see what the strategy will bring him here as he now goes into the mediums. Falcon overtakes him. I think Falcon will actually have a very good shot of P4 as he'll be on the soft for the last bit of the race, pushing to the maximum to see if he can even snatch a potential podium. But that will be incredibly lucky if that happens.
Yeah, but you know what they say, anything can happen. In Romula One, it can. It most certainly can.
Yep, as now we see Vernon, I think he's a I think he's got a bunch of potential to see himself go to P1 if Algard makes a mistake, but he just hasn't. He's just been flawlessly driving. He's the Max Verstappen of this league.
We're talking about Outguard, right?
Yeah, Algard. As
yeah,
it's
my
critical.
apologies.
Yeah. Critical. He's in P7 for some reason. Is that due to pitting or something? I think so, because he went...
Likely. He's on the mediums. He's behind Professor, who also stopped. Well, I think that's the case.
Yeah, I think he might have just stopped, but if he hasn't, that is going to be a huge disadvantage for them.
Need to watch out for Super Jope. It's a bit of a train at the moment, a non-DRS train.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see people complaining that DRS artificially makes the races better, but so if you want pure racing, here you go, pure racing.
Yeah, with Professor Blocks, Super Job and Critical Noob. The top three are very far away
around the outside. I to interrupt. Who's looking to try and go around the outside for the long right-hander? Critical Noob's defending this one. It's close. He nearly hit the sausage curbs. Critical Noob stays ahead. For now.
Yep, as Professor Loxer, I don't think he expected to be battling Critical Noob, as he was very fast in qualifying and in the start of the race. So I don't think it's too much of a disappointment in McLaren. There is just a huge gap from the top three to the rest of the grid, and from Falcon to Dom, there is 15 seconds of time between the two. But yeah. And also, Falcon has a huge gap between Critical and Professor, but that's only because he has yet to box for the soft. So maybe that will guarantee, I think he's guaranteed at least a very bare minimum P6 finish, but he could push potentially if these two make a mistake while battling. Oh, and as I said, with Professor Bloxer wasn't expected to fight, he is still on Critical Noob's tail as they're battling for P4 provisionally. But we'll have to see what happens when Falcon boxes. Outguard's been maintaining the gap to Fernand for quite a while. It's been staying at 6 seconds. You know, he's just been having an incredible show today. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he should be on to win the race.
Yeah, he's putting a really, really impressive showing today. It's his race to lose, really.
Okay, you cut out again.
I'd be surprised if somehow, just somehow, fumbles it near the end. I would be very surprised.
Just to let you know, you keep cutting out, but we've got the AlphaTauri team principal here to speak on the double DNF. So, how's this been for your team? What's happened?
What's happened is one driver unfortunately left due to massive lag. The other pushed too hard. And what happens when you push too hard? You make a mistake. What happens when you make a mistake? You went out of the race. So not really. I'm not blaming the drivers here. One driver has left the race, DNF'd, due to, well, what can only be put down as Wi-Fi issues. One driver went out due to driver error, and I really don't know what else to say. We battled hard. We didn't succeed, but we know where we failed for this week, and we know where to improve for next week.
Okay, thanks for speaking.
Yep, as Vulcan finally boxes. Oh, he's had a front. He's lost his front wing, I believe. As we see, yes, he's lost his front wing from a crash. That is detrimental to his race, definitely, as that will be large costly for him as he boxes. See,
And he's got a pit stop issue.
Oh, yep, no, because
On to softs he goes now.
Yellow flag, S3.
Yellow flag.
Yep. As he makes his way back on track, that's not ideal from him. His promised P6 finish has been down to very, very unfortunate from him, honestly. As he goes down to P10, a minute behind the race leader, he has to battle for the least amount of points. That's unfortunate for Alpine, as we've had a shocker, as they've had a shocker of a race.
It's something for them. I do feel bad for them. No, for no fault of their own. They just really had the best race. I feel bad for them.
Yep, just a lot of unlucky mistakes. But maybe they'll have to jump back in round 2, which will be at somewhere in the world.
I can get that for you. Next up, we're in Finland.
Yep.
Actually, no, that's my bad.
That's
the
we're
correct
in
round.
Finland. Yeah, but we are in Spain next, the pre-season testing track. As we have
My
10
bad,
laps of
my
the
bad.
race left. Yep.
Spain.
Vulcan has to use the
11th of
maximum of these
November.
soft
Yeah.
tires because honestly it's been a huge error from him, and he has to he could definitely recover P to P6 if he really tries, but we'll have to see. Fernand and Dom, they're what's it called, on the soft tires. I don't think they're going to be switching now in the last 9 laps, but we'll have to see. I don't know if they've been on the softs for quite a while.
Sorry to interrupt you, but as you say that, Fernan dives into the pits again to get on softs.
Oh, so he does fit. Huh. Well, ignore myself then, as he has to pit. Yeah, he's just pit onto the softs, as well as Dom. I think Algard's just stolen this race, as he's on the mediums, but he might have to box if the tire wear gets too bad, as I think we can see on the Red Bull pit thing as we go into Orienti's cam with the onboard. Yep, 60% high wear. I think this is actually for critical, but yeah, because I cannot see. But yeah, we'll have to see if there is any chance of him boxing soon. Yeah. Oh, that's
That was Super Joe into the pits there, the Mercedes driver onto the softs.
Yep, he's on the soft.
Algar's coming into the pits as well. Apologies for the interruption. Need to see where he comes out, as there was a 4-car scrap going on for second place. This might turn into a 5-car scrap for the win.
Yep.
Just wait and see where he comes out.
Yeah.
Where is Ferdinand?
Algard had a little bit
coming
of
through the big change.
mistake entering into the pits, as he missed his pit marker by quite a bit, so he had to speed up, which has costed him a bit of time, but not much. As the top 3 are now on softs, battling for the last 8 laps to get to P1. I mean, Fernand and Dom very close, as well as critical.
Noah Gamer's had quite a big spin. He's dropped behind the Alpine of Falcon.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but this is 2 cars now diving into the pits, the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes. And all of these pit stops could be in response to Fernand's previous pit stop, with Giuseppe now onto the soft compound, and that's a pit stop issue once again for Mercedes, which have also all gone onto the soft compound to finish this race.
Yep, and Falcon manages to get back from P10 up to P7, which is something very needed for Alpine, as well as I am the team boss. So that is great to see, as Alpine have now finally got some hope of getting back into the top 6, which was my predicted lowest finish for them. And yeah, there's actually a huge scrap for P5, as the top P2 to P5 is only within 2 seconds from each other, I think. And as well as, you know, Fernand's actually catching up to Algard as well, the entire Flister. But Professor has also dropped off, so I think he's going to be out of the battle for P2. I think the main contenders are Fernand and Dom, but Critical Noob has a chance to get into that top 2 as well.
Hey, deferred. If we've now got, I believe, an Alpine reserve driver who might want to talk. You have been sent an invite if you do.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hello. I was engineering for a Falcon. The strategy was looking good. It's just we kind of over pushed on the mediums. We were looking to pit around lap 38, but sadly we were 6 laps off. So we're going to see what we can do on the soft tire now. Just a little notice.
Okay, great to hear. Any more updates or insights you can give us, make sure to come back.
Oh, as Algod has sets a
Yeah.
102, he is definitely going to keep that P1.
Wasepi now with the fastest Sector 1. Going on to those softs really have helped the Alfa Romeo team.
Yeah, but he
The
is
Red Bull
in P9. He has to catch up to Noah if he wants a chance of getting the big 4 points, which I think will be crucial in the constructors, as his teammate has been out of the race. ASM, he hasn't been managed to recover from his bottle job on lap 1, so very unfortunate for him in the Williams.
Red Bull now's pushing for the fastest lap. You've just heard that over the radio.
And Critical's also pushing for P3 now. I think P2 is just out of reach for him. As, actually, no, maybe even, yeah, P3 might even be out of reach for him, as he's on the mediums and Fernand's on the new softs, which is definitely going to be impossible to catch up unless they make a mistake.
Do excuse me for a moment.
Yep, and yeah, so Outguard has actually had a very dominant display in which there was actually many race win contenders, which may actually be a sign for things to come. Can he manage to dominate like he did in Helsinki, or will other drivers step up after some unlucky mistakes that occurred?
If possible, could we get a camera down to look at the comparison between the Red Bull pit wall and the Ferrari pit wall?
Yep, as we can see, the Red Bull pit wall has a lot more, like 3 people managing to look at the times and everything, just making sure that like the tire wear is good and the lap times. And what other pit wall?
For Ferrari, we can currently see that they're both on the same sorts of strategies, with one driver on softs and one driver on mediums. Seems to be a clear copy of them all, with Critical Noob, though, on less tyre wear than the Ferrari driver on the medium compound.
Yep, and Fernand has the most tire wear here with Noah. Actually, no, Noah has the first most tire wear, with Fernand having slightly less tire wear than probably because he pit later, with Algard also having similar tire wear to Noah.
Sorry to interrupt, but we've just gotten word that there's a really good battle currently going on between Dom and Fernand.
Yep, as Dom is trying to have a catch-up job to Fernand, being a second behind. This is going to be very crucial to get these extra 3 points against the Ferrari, because they are definitely in a championship. They are definitely in a championship. I think most people, most constructors here are on a championship battle, definitely. As we have 4 different teams inside the top 5, or 5 different teams inside the top 6. 7 different teams, 6 different teams inside the top 7, and 7 different teams inside the top 8. So yeah, very, very close between all of them.
For those who want to, if we can get Caster in media adding on a thread to my message, then everybody can vote underneath it for who they think would be a good driver of the day. Or also just talk about who you think would be your driver of the day in the chat right now. We'd love to see your feedback of this live stream in the chat.
Yep. As we see Green Ninja Warrior here, he's on the softs. I think he's trying to have a catch up to W Soup, who is nowhere to see seen, so I think that is kind of out of reach for him. As I think Professor is locked in for P5 and Critical is locked in for P4. Dom definitely going to get P3, and I think most of the top 6 is locked unless they make a, mistake, as there is just a huge gap between all of them.
Yeah, Actually, aren't you one of the team bosses?
Yes, I am the Alpine team boss. I am rooting for Falcon right now.
Let's hear your thoughts on your team's like how they've done and how you guys have done on the previous sessions, and what were your initial thoughts coming into this race?
So obviously I was expecting a great performance because Chris managed to get, I think, P5 or P5 in qualifying, and as well as having P1 in FP2. But it was just an unreal, from what I've heard, it was an unlucky like turn to the left. It was just maybe understeer or oversteer, which caused him to get beached. That was the really unfortunate bit, because maybe he could have continued, and I'm definitely sure he could have been in the top 5. But yeah, if he didn't get beached, I'm sure he would have been fast enough. Balkans also had quite an unlucky race, starting from P16. I think if he started a bit further up the grid, it would have been a lot better and a lot more of a confidence boost to him. And if that mistake with the front wing loss wasn't made, I'm definitely sure he could have been fighting for P5 potentially. But I'm not too sure about that. So yeah, I am not too bothered by round 1, as it's only round 1, and there's obviously going to be a round 1 curse. So outguard. So we'll and yeah. So I just think
Just going to mention this quickly. ASM stopped setting the fastest lap of the race with a 101.983. Which is what the Red Bull team was pushing him to do earlier, spamming fastest lap in chat. Back over to you now.
Yeah, because what's it called? They don't want, because I think Red Bull and Williams are definitely going to be constructors fighting for the championship, as well with Dom and Outguard, as well as Fernand. So I think it's really crucial that ASM has actually managed to do something to combat the Red Bull strength of them being 6 seconds ahead.
Ooh, time for some drama. Bread is saying that his fastest lap should be invalidated. Don't know which team he works for, but he does work for one. Though, we do have access to what the stewards are saying, and if they decide to investigate this, then I can keep you guys updated along the way.
Red does not work for a team, as he says. He's just watching and, managing race. As we're on the last lap, Outguard with a dominant performance, as I do think he is going to keep the car on the track. Oh, wait, yep. No, never mind. That was nowhere being lapped. That was a bit of a surprise. But yeah, as he's lapping, I think
final lap now.
I think he's double lapping ASM.
We're going to listen to Spingon as he's just returned to talk us through the final lap.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I was just busy in my other league, just trying to make a few things sorted. It's a pity that these two aren't on the same lap. We would have a really, really great scrap on the final lap. But Outguard, what a performance he's put in today. Is this his first race?
Yeah, this is his first
Not
race.
sure.
This
is his rookie season.
As he rounds around the final corner.
Outguard, the debutant, comes round the final corner, takes the checkered flag first. Outguard wins the Finnish Grand Prix. What a performance for Outguard. What a performance for Red Bull. And what a performance for the new boy.
Yep.
Well done to Outguard. Fernand comes home in second, and Dom comes home to take third place.
Guys, no need to go yet, because we still have the opportunity to have post-race interviews and the podium celebration with the drivers. We're now going to be switching over to a cameraman by the
But yeah,
by Park Ferme.
Yeah, but
Good news comes.
Balkan's having a couple of huge mistakes. I think he's put the soft stint was too long, and he's managed to lose out to WC, which is really unfortunate. But still managing to bag 4 points, which could be crucial in this constructors, as Super crosses P6, the Mercedes, and Alfa Romeo P7, Alpine Falcon P8, and Greninja in P9. Nowhere rounding off the top 10 in the Ferrari. Yep, ASM 11th. Hasn't really been able to prove much today, but he did steal the fastest lap, so that's something. And the rest, there was five what's it called, DNF, so that's unfortunate for those 5. But here we have it, the race results. Outguard P1, and yeah, the entire run through.
Okay guys, we're now going, if possible, could we switch over the camera to the cool-down room?
Yeah. We'll
Make sure not to go yet, as we may be able to get some driver interviews.
Yep, no, it's not. You're not in P1. Fernand lines up in P2. It was a great race for him today. But yeah, brilliant job for Fernand. Yep, and we're just waiting for the rest of the drivers in Park Ferme.
Engine noises from inside the cooldown room.
Where is
So far, it looks like Outguard's the only one. Fernand and Dom haven't arrived just yet.
Yep, Outguard.
Outguard's not even sitting down here.
Oh,
Oh, there he goes.
Well, he kind of has his own chair if you think about it.
Yeah, he's confined to a wheelchair. He's the first disabled race
Sitting
winner.
down all the time.
He's the
got
first
his own little
disabled race
seat.
winner.
That's truly amazing that we're helping Paralympians to achieve their dreams here.
Yep, as they managed. Okay, and we just need the top 3 in the cooldown room. We have Fernand, and now we are just waiting for Domji, I think. Yeah.
Another bit of info about him. He's also got no skin. He's just a skeleton. So he's the first skeletal driver to win a race, I think.
Yep.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but we've got Fernand here. How do you feel about the race performance and how your team have contributed to this?
The strategy was good. My pace was also good. I was catching to Oddcard on the last laps, but on that last stint, I didn't really push the subs to the max until I saw that Dom was catching up. So yeah, I think that's kind of a factor of why I couldn't catch up to Outguard.
And also, how about your what's it called, little bit of a mistake with you losing some time as well?
I mean, it was a small mistake. I managed to make it so my car did not die. But yeah, I kind of just lost the rear. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I just know I lost the rear more than I was expecting.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your what's it called, opinions on the race. Can we get any other? Can we get Outguard?
Yeah.
The P1 driver as well into the what's it called?
Which driver did you say? Outguard. Okay, Outguard, we've just invited you to speak if you'd like to come up.
So Outguard,
Hello?
what are your thoughts on the performance that you've put up with your P1?
Yeah, it was a very clean race, little to no mistakes. Yeah, I just had to keep my head down and everything went well. Yep.
And what do you think about the strategy?
Yeah, it was a very good strategy. You know, we knew that we shouldn't go on the hards because they were really terrible. So the medium and the soft was the way to go.
Okay. How do you feel about your... Oh yeah, you've just answered that, ignore me. Loli, if you do want to, we have invited you up. Okay, here's one of Outguard's race engineers. How do you really feel about this weekend, guys, and how it's shaped up? Either of you.
Is the engineer gonna talk?
I'm not sure. I wonder.
Because I already spoke.
Yeah.
This is how Outguard achieved such great results with some of the finest engineers in the industry. Here's just a true example of how they act.
Yeah. So.
Just pure silence.
Yeah.
I don't think he's here.
If any other drivers, I guess, Noah, do you want to come up and also explain your race? Thank you for your time, Outguard. So yeah, Noah, do you want to just discuss your race today? What happened?
Oh yeah, it was fucking shit.
Oh, how could I mean?
Sorry
yeah.
about the swearing for those
Yeah,
on
bit
YouTube.
profanity, but how so was it terrible?
I flipped twice.
And
Actually, 3 times.
Oh, so
Might have
yeah.
been 4 actually.
That's a lot of flips, but at least you managed to secure a point for Ferrari. How do you feel about the strategy today?
That was pretty fucking wonderful.
Oh, was it?
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to have to cut
Fucking-
it fair for
What is
the
it?
podium celebration. I'm sorry, man. Castor was private messaging me.
But Iba, do you want to speak up, talk about your performance with Ferrari? If you in what's it called? If you're very
You kind
happy.
of had to remove him. If you, he's back. He's back.
So
yeah.
Iba, do you want to talk about how the race went for today, as for Ferrari as a whole?
Yeah, it went pretty good. I think we maximized the points we could get, except from a few mistakes from Noah here and there. But overall, a good race, and Fernand really showed the pace with the flip. He just ended up 5.6 seconds behind Outguard. But really, it was a good race.
We kind of do really have to cut it here. If we
Yeah.
can get the camera looking at the podium, please. Okay, there we go. Your free caster.
Yep.
Well, looking at the podium, you know the upper belt.
There it
There.
is.
Here, look. Come on, camera. There we go.
So do we have the three? Yeah, we have Dom lining up on P3. Great performance from the McCowan. I don't know what you call a Macau citizen, but yeah, great performance from the Macau man. And we have Fernand in P2 as well. I'm sure he's going to get dragged very soon. And we have the engineer, I think, here representing Outguard for his win today. Fernand in P2. Yeah, brilliant performance from the Costa Rican from working at Ferrari. So, yeah. And we're just waiting for the main man, Outguard, who won the Helsinki Grand Prix. Great performance from him, as he had
season open.
Yeah, the season opener, as he had a brilliant performance today. No mistake, kept his head down, as he said, and secured the bag. Our first handicapped winner in Romula One, and his first actual race win as a debutant as well. So I am excited to see what happens in the next couple of races in Spain, actually, for round 2. Yeah. Is it gonna be confetti?
Yeah, turn on the confetti. Give him the champagne, you know?
Give him the champagne and the confetti. Yeah, there we go, the confetti celebrations. Brilliant, brilliant stuff here. And we have, everyone celebrating. Dom celebrating, Outguard celebrating with Lowly, his engineer celebrating, waving, and Fernand also celebrating. Yep, as they all jump around, excited, doing stuff.
Okay.
But,
After this, we are able to do some more interviews. So everybody who wants to be interviewed, if you head down onto that green section for where the cars park up after they've got a podium, then we'll take you one by one there.
I think Outguard's engineer wants to speak again. Does he speak? Sure, I guess we'll let him on.
Yeah, man, I don't know what happened last time, bro. I was wrongfully accused.
But yeah, so how do you feel about engineering, what's it called, Outguard to his win today? Like, did you feel your strategy helped?
Our strategy was good. We had a good plan going. Then Critical came in, accidentally took softs, which did hinder us a bit, but that's not quite what we wanted. Also, he flipped, which also, I think if we didn't flip, we should have had that podium sealed, even with the mistake on getting the wrong tires. Outguard did good. He was good the entire race, led the entire thing. A bit unlucky with Critical, but next time it's gonna be 1-2.
Yep. So yeah, I think anyone else want to do interviews?
If possible, could we have whoever's talking on the green and Formula One section, just because of that, it looks better in clips.
Yeah. Oriente, do you want to? Okay, the engineer, also at Red Bull, I think, as well. So
this is the one which didn't speak before. I know, I accidentally moved him.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
So I would like to congratulate Outguard for having a reason for me to sleep at 5 a.m. I would also like to say, where the fuck is Mercedes?
Calling out Mercedes. That is going to be,
Language.
Exactly. This is a live stream, man.
Yeah.
Timmy, bro.
Oh, my bad.
We've got YouTubers watching this or something. I know.
Yeah. So Oriente, how do you feel about the performances today at Red Bull?
Pretty good, except for the I think Critical was unlucky at that moment. He shouldn't have boxed for softs in my opinion, because like he lost a lot of pace on softs.
Yeah.
But overall, it's very good since Outguard won by like around 5 seconds. It's very good. I think we're also leading the team championship, which I'm very proud of. Not to say myself, yes.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for your input. Any other drivers maybe want to speak? Greninja from the Mercedes who Ariente just called out. Do you want to have a go at, or you know what you want to say? If you don't, that's fine.
I'll just invite you guys up. Just if you do come up, speak one by one if possible.
Yeah.
Okay, Iberhair. So I'll leave you over to GeForce.
So I think we've already talked about your current. What do you think about going forward? You know, for your team with Ferrari, do you expect to fight for the constructors, or you know, like what do you think?
Ferrari has a big announcement to make. Noah Gamer will retire from Romula One and be replaced on the next race by Mr. Marshall Globe.
Oh my goodness, you heard it
Heard it here first, folks.
Yep. Noah having a P10 not good enough for Ferrari standards. This to show that Ferrari are here to win. We'll have to find out in the next race, which you should tune into.
Okay, let's hear from Baron now.
Yeah, well, we raced a good race today. We had a test driver and blocks our course, but it was good result for McLaren. Personally, I think McLaren can do even better the next couple races.
By the
Hope we
way,
get a
camera
podium.
Baron's on the green. Baron's listen to us.
Yeah, I see. So
But
yeah,
overall, good result.
how do you feel about this? How do you feel like this will help against the Williams? Like how? Okay, let me rephrase this. How do you think the Williams McLaren rivalry will grow? Oh, okay.
Great to hear, man.
Great. I think
Williams will start to flip.
I've got a question.
Okay.
Can you bring my engineer in? My fantastic engineer, Captain Camo
Okay.
here.
Yep.
So Dom, how do you feel about your P3 finish today in the Williams?
I mean, how many seconds was I off in lap 1? I don't recall, but yeah, that flip in that flip in sector 2 was just horrific. It was just rookie mistakes as usual. My first race here, pretty happy with a P3, not gonna lie. 7 seconds behind Outguard, which I consider is one of the fastest driver ever. Camo, what was how was your feeling about that race?
Mate, as someone that watched the entire thing and didn't show up in the last lap late, I saw the entire thing and I definitely worked with both my drivers through the entire weekend. The tyre strategy was absolutely perfect on the Williams side. Unfortunately, ASM had a screen freeze, which put him out of the race. But Dom H followed through on the strategy. He followed through on everything that I definitely was there to tell him to do. And he pulled off. And P3 is a fantastic result for the start of the season, and there's only room to grow. But following up on what Dom H said, Outguard was on pace through the entire weekend. He was looking good in practice. I have no clue how he didn't qualify and wasn't there. I mean, and through the race, he was absolutely a dominant force, and he's amazing.
So how do you feel
For sure,
how do you think this affects the Williams McLaren rivalry?
Where did McLaren finish? Wait, we're at a rivalry? Hold on.
Yeah, you're now in a rivalry, man.
Yeah, you guys have a rivalry.
Quickly, let's just hear from Noah about his retirement. That's kind of the key story right now.
No, yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
How do you?
I might get an interview.
Do you have any what's it called? Hatred towards Ferrari now?
No.
Anything you want to say about anybody on your journey or something, or who you just dislike because of a smell?
Yeah.
Randomizer is a cock.
Preach.
Well, you heard it here. Ferrari hates
You heard it here
AlphaTauri.
first, folks.
So yeah, Noah, thank you. It's been a pleasure watching you.
Can I just add something? Yeah, my engineer, he joined on the last lap of the race, saying, is there a race right now?
No.
Mate, I told you the whole day there was going to be a race today, and you joined on the last lap.
My involvement with this weekend was crucial to the Williams team plan, okay? You need to stop. Shut your mouth, okay? This was a perfect execution on behalf of the engineering team, okay? You got P3 for a reason. That was definitely 99% me and possibly the other engineer, but let's not talk about that, okay? That was mostly me. You're welcome. Now shut your mouth and be grateful for what you've got.
So Captain, if you're disappointed with Williams, you can join Alpine, but we'll talk about that later.
You're dumb.
So
Oh, yeah, just hit me up DMs, bro. Hit me up DMs.
You're dumb.
yeah.
Oh fuck, he left.
Let's hear.
Block.
Let's hear
Block.
Arrington.
Block. Wait, I'm reading
Ariente,
another
Ariente.
interview.
Yeah,
Another
yes.
interview.
Yeah,
Okay.
another one.
Yo, I
put
just
your
want to
hand
say
up
But,
to
block.
so
Block.
how do you think what's it
Block.
called? Where do you think Red Bull will finish in the constructors?
At least P3. At least P3. I
Mhm.
guess. Block.
I'll-
And then I think our main rivals would be Ferrari and Williams. Honestly.
What
Like,
about
yeah,
Al-
they've
what
been
about
very
Alpine?
good. And then Alpine.
Yeah.
It's I guess they could be title rivals. I guess. I think only Chris is. I think. Because Chris is like a very good driver. Honestly.
Yeah.
Block. Block.
What-
Yes.
What does
Yes.
what does block mean?
I can't speak. Block.
Let's. Oh my god! Wait, I'll let you think. And for now, we've got Randomizer here. Randomizer, how do you feel about a fellow driver not being very nice to you?
Yeah, and randomizer, please don't say anything too bad, please. Randomizer, please don't say it. This is a family-friendly channel.
I've got a move to audience ready.
Wait. I want to see something.
Yeah. Is it block?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get it.
You moved down there. Okay, randomizer, what do you think about your race today? Do you have any
Randomizer, you good?
randomizer? You have stop chuckling. So randomizer, what do you think about your race? Your race today? Please say something.
Randomizer? You
Ra-
there?
Randomizer?
I think he's currently being waterboarded.
He's there.
Sorry about that, guys.
I think what's it called? Cass is just making sure he doesn't say anything that will get us permanently banned on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that, no.
Guys, if there's anybody else, even fans, who'd like to put your input on the race, now's your time. Make sure to join the commentary VC in the Discord, and then you can come up onto the stage by just putting your hand up.
Yeah.
And for those only watching on YouTube, the Discord's at the bottom of the description currently. Believably so.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to talk at all, or even talk again and just talk about meaningless stuff, go ahead. Hey, here we go, Noah. Noah would like to talk. Come on up.
He's already retired though, so like.
So now he's a fan, you know.
Yeah, you're a fan. Who do you think will win the
Yeah.
constructors and drivers?
Ferrari, but I have a question for y'all. What did y'all eat for lunch?
I had cereal. So like, yeah.
Who the fuck eats cereal for lunch?
I
For lunch!
I had
cereal!
I was
rice
hungry.
mints and stuff.
Guys, have you seen how Burger King's got those new fries with that seasoning? It is the best thing you ever taste.
Yeah, but I had cereal because I didn't have. Well, I didn't wake up so early, did I?
Did you?
Yeah, I had cereal because that's like the easiest thing I know how to make. So yeah. Who do you think will become last the constructors maybe? Because Alf, Aston, and Hassan show.
Where are randomizers driving?
What?
Wherever randomizers driving. Is it Alpha Tauri? Yeah, probably Alpha Tauri.
Okay,
Ah,
guys.
okay.
We're going to treat this like, a post-race room. So if you're a driver, just accept the invite to come up onto the stage. And we're going to just ask some questions. If anybody in the YouTube would like to send a question in chat, we can talk to the drivers, engineers, and even a team boss here about it. So, first of all...
Are you British?
Yes.
Okay.
God save your soul.
Thanks. We have a lot of nationalities and stuff. So ooh, crit! I think critical. He was 2 kilometers off of a 5-second penalty.
That's probably why he lost the race, actually.
Or he managed to go, just managed to be safely into the whatever it was. I don't know.
No, it's just unlucky, honestly.
looking through after the race now, what if anybody in game still, you guys can click F9 and go to server, and you can see about how half of the drivers have ended the pit lane way too quick. Falcon at 72. Then we've got Outguard at 78, Critical Noob at 77, Sock at 67, Super at 72, Green at 65, and so on. And then you've got Noah at 86. Noah, how do you feel about your speeding it? And then Noah again with 95 in the pit lane. What were you playing at, Noah? Let's hear.
I'm a speedy speed boy. I like speeding.
He just does things fast, I guess.
Okay, guys, if you guys want, just say something extremely slanderous about another driver, and we can then let you shout at the other person.
Okay, this is my time. Oh God!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, God!
Oh no! 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 No!
You stupid cripple! There's a reason to say.
Oh my! No! 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 No!
All right. Tone it down.
No, let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Come on.
No, 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 no.
Just
Bring him back. Bring him back.
Guys,
Funny.
guys, for now, just talk at normal volume because then it's nicer on the stream.
I want
speech, man. Come on.
Or else we can't.
Let him
get
speak.
down
Let him
into
speak.
Drive to Survivable
Let him
chunks.
cook.
Do we
Let
all
him
get
cook.
that? Nice. We'll now let you cook. I'm going to give you guys a 10-second countdown, and you can say anything bar slurs because if YouTube doesn't like those.
Or anything,
10,
just anything that
is a
looks
rap
like TOS.
9,
I can't scream and I
7,
can't cuss him out.
6, exactly, 5,
Oh.
4, 3,
Three, two,
also
one.
can't
He's
say
a-
anything
he's a-
horrific. 2, 1. Go.
Everyone speak.
Our God's
Yeah, well,
bound
that's
to
very
smoke
nice.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say anything bad because I'm a very nice person.
No,
I would never say
bound to your wheelchair.
proprieties. I would never say something
Politely,
bad.
I would like to request in which you take a shower because you stink.
Captain, join
I
please.
literally took one this
Respond to my
morning, man.
DM, Captain. Respond to my DM.
I hate Mercedes.
Why?
I hate Mercedes.
Oh, by the way, I figured out about
you
the
hate
rivalry,
Mercedes?
by the way. I realized that we're actually in a rivalry with McLaren, into which I respond with, no chance.
Fuck to McLaren.
I hate
Yeah,
Mercedes.
who is McLaren, dude? Literally nowhere.
Oh.
They're not going to be anywhere near us. Okay, once
Oh,
ASM
shit.
decides to actually stay on track for once, we'll have both
Oh shit.
drivers scoring, rolled and smoked. No chance. There won't be a rivalry.
I hate the Mercedes
I
owner.
think Williams are gonna actually cook next race.
Yep.
It's the preseason track.
Once
and
I
they did,
decide
very well
to
in
show up.
preseason. And if they decide not to flip, they'll do well.
I'm gonna
I
sing
hate the
Demon
Mercedes
Slayer.
owner.
Ooh.
Who's the Mercedes owner?
Suyoku.
Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
throw them out. Throw hands. Throw hands.
I hate the Mercedes owner.
Oh.
guys,
Make sure to join
bro.
NCR.
Just while we're talking, if nobody else talks, so now we're going to ask some actual directed questions and go through things. Just in 3 words, describe your teams and your race engineers, starting from the person at the top of the VC, in this case, Ariante.
Crazy, hot, fast.
Aye, Captain.
Sexy, quick, and good looking.
Noah.
What was the question?
3 words to describe your team and engineers.
Nordic, South American.
Okay,
Fast.
guys, I'm really sorry, but this is going to be the end of the stream here. Join us next week on the 11th of November for round 2 in Vinsocia Park or something. I can't say it, sorry about that, guys. In Spain. And you'll be able to see the results of this race in results. And soon we'll have how the standings are shaping up, revealed for all people to see. I'm absolutely yapping here, but tomorrow we may be recording some stuff if anybody does want to get on. As you can see in the season schedule, on the Sunday we've got post-race media and we've got the trophy handouts. Okay, that's all from us now. If MF Force wants to say anything, that's fine, but thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. So, yeah, see you guys for next week.
Till
round
next
2.
time,
Yeah.
you smell.